Welcome to another Warhammer Fantasy Battle Report. These are my Bretonnians versus an Empire army. We're using 8th edition rules, 2400 points, and that's a general overview of the board. There's 8 pieces of terrain, and this time instead of organizing it by theme and trying to make it sense, everything's completely random, including the placement of the terrain. So the 2 houses are normal houses. That weird chaos structure in the left middle grants hatred to any unit within 6 inches. And then the other things, there's some magical properties to them, but it just doesn't affect the game. Like there's that weird fence, and there's another one somewhere else. But anyway, that's a broad overview of the board. The Empire list I'm facing is just really, really interesting. He followed a theme. Basically, those handgunners are actually crossbowmen. Behind him he has flagellants. He has a cannon, and then those great swords are actually halberdiers. So he took this model of crossbows, flagellants, and then 30 strong halberdiers with the warrior priest. So he's going to get 3 ranks of strength 4 rerollable attacks. And then he just took that and duplicated it. So this is my far right. Just next to them, there's another set of them, another set. There's a Hellblaster volley, a cannon, crossbows, and more halberdiers on the left. So his model was to hang back on his line, shoot at him, make me come to him, and then he's going to have those units that are just going to put a real hurting on my guys. That unit in the middle has his general on the horse, but he's still a warrior priest, and he does have a level 2 wizard in yellow at the our left of that unit. And that wizard took the lower fire. So it's not really a gun line. It's a halberdier line. Almost, I don't know if he built this specifically again to face Bretonnians, but it's well suited for Bretonnians. It's going to be tough for me to face this. So my plan was, I'm just going to pick on the right-hand side. I don't need to kill everything he has on the board. I just need to kill more of his than he kills of mine. So I've got 10 questing knights here on the right. I have a lord-level general with them, and a level 2 sorceress with a lore of life. Then I've got 7 knights of the realm with another level 2 damsel, this one with the lore of beasts, and then paladin battle standard bearer. 38 men-at-arms with a third level 2 damsel, this one with the lore of beasts. I really like the lore of beasts buffing +1 strength, +1 toughness as the default spell, and having 2 of them, 2 mages that can have that same spell. I believe it can stack, so I can actually get +2 attack or +2 strength, +2 toughness relatively easily. So that's why I like that combo. So I've got a trebuchet here in the middle. I just need to be able to weaken units before I charge into them. These bowmen I put in the middle, they're one of the first ones I placed. I did it here because I didn't want him knowing I was going to wait the right flank. And I don't care much what they do, just shoot some stuff. And this is actually after my Vanguard movement with my fast cab. My fast cab and my Pegasus Knights were set up more to the left, and I was going to use them to go down and take out some war machines. And then by the time I moved them for their Vanguard movement, I realized I didn't need to go get his war machines, and it wasn't going to be much good. So I moved them. I'm pulling these guys to the right, and my Pegasus Knights I'm going to end up flying all the way to the right flank to help out there. These Knights Errant, I know obviously that's not waiting my right flank, but these guys I'm just going to hang back with them and then pull them towards the right, towards that house on the right. I just want them to pose a threat to his flank, so he has to be a little bit careful about bringing his troops over to meet mine on my far right side. And on the far left is something I'm using to proxy for a trebuchet. So Empire turn 1, you can tell he really didn't move. He angled a couple things, but for the most part he is where he wants to be. I've played him before. He usually does just like to hang back at that back line, which has some advantages, but if he ever fails a panic test, he's going to run right off the board. And I'll tell you now, I don't think he did the whole game, but he had a lot of times when he had to take panic tests, and it would have taken any failure and he would have lost a big unit. So the cannon on this side blows itself up turn 1, so that's always a good thing. His crossbowmen pick up these guys, and this is before the errata came out. The errata came out literally 12 hours after this game was played. So the defensive stakes offer -1 to hit from shooting now, and we didn't know that when we played this game, so that might have saved a couple of these guys. But whatever, he can shoot at peasants all he wants. So Brett turn 1, I take my 2 big knight units on the far right, move them up very aggressively. Move my men-at-arms up as much as I can. My Pegasus Knights, you can see I've swung all the way over here. And if you look in the lower left corner, my Knights Errant, they've they've swung over as well. They did like a 4-inch shuffle. So now they're going to, on the next turn, wheel around that one structure and then come up. And just to, on turn, turn 3 or so, I want them threatening his flank. So there's another look. And then in various shooting whatever, okay, there's a mistake. On the Knight of the Realm unit, there's a questing knight at the back of him. I put him in the wrong place. He's supposed to be that unit on the right. So, sorry about that. Empire turn 2. Now he's not really moving his guys on the right very much. He has them set up the way he likes it. But if you look in the upper left-hand corner, he's in a mad dash to try to get these troops into the game, because with everything in mind just going towards the right, those guys are never going to see any action. So this is where I'm looking. That token on the middle unit means that that unit's unbreakable. And this is his other guys making a mad dash trying to come over. And there's my far left, kind of the same thing. So his crossbowmen are still picking on my archers, and still I can't complain. He's not, he's not doing any worse things to my knights. One of these knights died. And that's it. We go to Brett turn 2. So if you look at the upper right, okay, one, I'm missing a questing knight. The one that was with the Knight of the Realm, I finally put him back where he belonged, and then he got killed when the crossbowman shot me on his turn. So he's dead. So whom to charge was a real interesting dilemma here, because I was thinking, okay, so if I charge these crossbows and beat him, I can overrun into the flagellants, but then on his turn he's going to flank charge me with his halberds. I could charge the halberds with my Knight of the Realm unit to keep that from happening, but one of my big blocks in the halberd unit is not going to break it. It's probably going to lose, and then even if I don't lose, his flagellants on the left side are going to come crashing in. So that was a real dilemma. So what I decided to do was, I brought my Pegasus Knights up, so on my next turn they can support, and I realized what I might need. I need units that can charge potential flanking units, or at least to stand there and shield me from getting charged on my next turn. So I'm going to just take out the crossbows, and then next turn see if I can double charge somebody. There's a closer look at what I'm looking at up there. Otherwise, see, I'm just moving up, and those Knights Errant, I'm not looking to get the Knights Errant into fighting too much. Let's see, on my turn my archers killed 4 of his crossbows, and they... no, I take that back. Look at those crossbows that are facing his own unit in the middle. During my turn, I killed 4 of them. They passed their panic test. During this turn, my Battle Standard Bearers unit declared a charge against him, because had they stood, I would have easily beaten them, and I would have gone towards the flagellants, and then had he charged me, I was just going to flee. But he fled, and I just let it be a failed test, a failed charge. So anyway, so these guys, these Knights Errant on my left are coming up. They're going to take some crossbow fire, but for the most part, I want to threaten him, because if he brings his units over like they are now, I can hit one in the flank, likely break him, and then run off the board. So this I thought was pretty cool. These are my new questing knights that I've assembled. I haven't painted them all yet. But if you remember, one got killed, and then during the magic phase, I used the Lore of Life spell that raised one back. And that is just, that's just the coolest thing to me. I just love the thought of being able to lose a knight or two to shooting, and then if I don't have anything better to do during magic, to raise them back. So when I beat the crossbows, instead of overrunning to the flagellants, what I did is I just did a reform and position myself so that, one, it's going to be hard for both those units to reach me on a charge. They might be able to, but there's a good chance they won't be able to. And if they do, I'm going to get, let's see, there's 12 people, let's say 11 knights of my knights attacking. So I don't really want him to charge me. It's going to put a hurting on me if he does, but I'm going to kill some stuff, and then I'm going to get countercharged with my Knights of the Realm next time, as well as with my Pegasus Knights. Now those Pegasus Knights technically are fast cav now. They can't. That formation is kind of 7th edition formation for skirmishers. Basically, that guy in the middle, they're in a straight line with him. They just won't fit because of the wings. So if you're looking at this, I know that technically that's not right, but he knows the position they're in, the formation. So that's the end of combat Brett turn 2. And my decision whom to charge would not have been as difficult had I thought about doing this. It's kind of I just kind of played it by ear, and I was fairly happy with how this turned out. Yeah, there's just another look. And on my next turn, my knights, my men-at-arms at the very bottom of this, I thought they could reach the house this turn. They couldn't. So next turn, they're going to step into that house, and then they'll be able to step out of it on the turn after and be a big shield for me and my knights from units coming from the left-hand side. So his turn, these guys are still trying to get over. They really can't do it. His crossbows are standing there shooting. Everybody else is just kind of blocked. There's only so much they can do. And it turns out just being real awkward for him. He had to line up all the way across the back because he had such huge units. So when I focused just on one small corner of it, these guys are kind of almost useless over here.